Hey man, so you own yourself some Tesla stock. Congratulations. Your portfolio it's looking mighty juicy today. So, I know a lot of people out there are going to end up having some questions about owning Tesla stock. Should you continue to hold? Should you take profits? Did I leave 20 years ago for a carton of milk and never returned? Well, the answer to all those questions is possibly yes, depending on who you are. So, first, I want to kind of take into account the news that both Ford and GM have adapted the Tesla charging ports to charge the vehicles. And what this does, it would be the equivalent of if Ford started a gas station and they became the number one gas station out there, and every vehicle was using the Ford gas stations, giving them profits 20 cents a gallon, 10 cents a gallon, whatever. And what that would have done to the bottom line of Ford. Because that's exactly what we're looking at in terms of Teslas and their superchargers. So I think this game plan that Elon has is just going to be an absolute profit machine. With him licensing out the use of the Tesla superchargers to both Ford and GM, and I'm sure there's going to be many more to follow, they're going to be raking in profits that were not built in to the stock price. Another wonderful thing that's going on is it looks like the S&P 500 just started a brand new bull run. It's officially gone up 20% from its previous lows. And what this is going to do is expand and allow for larger PE ratios, PEG ratios. You're going to see an inflation in the growth stocks out there. And as we all know, Tesla is like a supercharged growth stock. When your typical growth stock moves 1 or 2%, Tesla's moving 3 or 4%. So we've got a macroeconomic situation that is extremely favorable to Tesla. And then we've just got a whole bunch of good news about Tesla and what's coming up in the future. Now, Elon's also stated that he's willing to license out the full self-driving software. And if he's going to be allowed to charge, for instance, what Tesla owners are charged, where it's, $15,000 or $200 a month, this is going to be an absolute windfall as far as free cash flow goes. And when you're running the numbers on the stock, it's, I mean, if you think about how many cars Tesla's projected to sell in the future, and then you look at how many cars Ford and GM are projected to sell in the future, Ford and GM combined, I do believe are going to be more than Tesla. And I think a lot of people are going to go to Fords and GMs when they've got the same charging network that Tesla has, when they've got the same full self-driving that Tesla has. It's going to be a really compelling argument to get a Ford when maybe you at one point had your heart set on Tesla, because the Fords and the GMs are going to be EVs with the charging network, with the full self-driving. So maybe you're going to like the style of their cars a little better. There's going to be different features that they offer, and it's going to be really, really good as far as total EV adoption in the United States, actually worldwide. And it's going to introduce a lot more competition. So I think Tesla's going to have to be on their game as far as what they're going to be able to offer. And I really think it's going to come down to price. With the way that they're manufacturing their cars, or the way that they're going to be, and the price is going to be so much lower than what Ford and GM and all the other competitors are going to be able to offer. It's really going to be, I think, a no-brainer for a large chunk of the population to go with Tesla. Now, as time goes on and the profit margins go up and the PE ratios are still going up, I think that this stock has so much room to run. Now, it's currently sitting at about $250, and a lot of people are a bit nervous because it's been running and running and running. I mean, from its low of $101 recently to now being $250. A lot of people are speculating, well, there's got to be a giant pullback. It doesn't make sense to invest in this company now when 6 months ago it was $100. But that's not really how the Tesla stock tends to go. When this bad boy runs, it's like no other stock out there. It runs and runs and runs, and it looks like that's what it's doing right now. So for all of us who are long-term holders, we just dollar cost average or buy when we have the extra income, we're making out like bandits right now. However, the all-time high for Tesla, adjusting for the splits, is $414. So we're still not even close to the high that Tesla was at. And with all the good news that's been coming, with all the advancements that they're making, with all the manufacturing details that we now know that we didn't know back then, it's absolutely astonishing to think that the amount of profit that we still have left on this bad boy, and that's not even including any robo-taxi or Tesla bot, just from a pure car and charging station standpoint, we're all looking at making a nice juicy bit of profit here. So me personally, I'm still adding. Like this $250, when I look at that 414 compared to now, it's still dirt cheap. It's still dirt cheap to me. And now everything has been compressed because everything's been priced into the market as far as, your interest rates, recession, all the doom and gloom news that's out there. And what you'll see a lot of the times is the stock market will turn around before the economy does. It's like the hedge funds all know when things look like they're in the clear and things are going to be getting better. And it looks like that's what's going on now. Pretty much all the growth stocks are definitely going back up. A lot of the value stocks have sputtered out and are no longer going up. And I think you're going to see that we're at the very beginning of a pretty nice Tesla stock run. Now, this is just my opinion. Some random dude on the internet absolutely should not believe me. You should do your own research. However, I think when you line up all the key ingredients that Tesla's working with, we're going to get one hell of a cake coming out of that oven. Until next time, guys.